Choosing the right game engine is key for any solo developer. Today, I'll walk you through how I selected one, considering my background in programming. Stick around to learn about my choices and why they made sense for me. Hi, I'm Owen Creve, a back-end developer with over 15 years of experience. I'm building my own game solo with no prior game dev skills, using just my coding expertise, AI tools, and passion for video games. So, I needed an engine for creating a 2D game, and it had to meet two main criteria: be free at the start of development, and have a large enough community so I could quickly learn about it. After browsing the internet a bit and watching some reviews, I narrowed down my options to these: Unreal, Unity, Godot, GameMaker, RPG Maker. I ruled out Unreal right away, even though C++ is my main programming language. For me, Unreal has a pretty high entry barrier, and it's mainly focused on 3D games. It's overkill for what I'm doing. RPG Maker initially appealed to me with its relative simplicity and emphasis on storytelling. That's exactly what I want for my game. However, I quickly got confused by its various versions. There are as many as 5. Plus, the most powerful version is only available as a trial, and I couldn't just download it. Additionally, the engine focuses on top-down games with turn-based battles, where players can role-play different characters. But I want a game with a predefined character, where role-playing is mostly about making decisions, choosing weapons, and playstyle. Moreover, I aimed for more of an action game than a pure RPG, so I ruled this out too.
I also looked at Unity with some caution. Even though, out of the remaining engines, it had the strongest community and the most advanced asset store, it raised concerns for me due to its recent history with the runtime fee. And although the company rolled back that decision and even doubled the funding ceiling, as they say, a bad aftertaste lingered. So at that stage, I didn't consider it. The more reviews I watched, the more I wanted to build my game on Godot. It appealed to me for many reasons: completely free, a fairly large community that grew significantly after the Unity scandal, excellent support for 2D games, and the option to program in C#, my second programming language. I've had experience with C# since its first version. I remember waiting for its release back in school, practicing programming in after-school classes. Since then, it's been a constant in my career, showing up in nearly every project I've worked on. So, I installed the engine and dove into learning it. But soon, I realized not everything was smooth. C# is just an option, available only through a separate plugin, and most examples and tutorials focus on GD script. I thought, okay, I don't get Python-like languages, but I'll figure it out somehow. Another challenge was the entry barrier. For folks switching from other game engines, it's probably fine, but for a complete beginner, some parts are still pretty tough to grasp. The final straw was a story I stumbled upon on forums about how aggressively the engine's creators can ban user accounts, even those donating significant money, just for their opinions. In my view, this clashes with open source ideals. Plus, I believe games should be about games, not the real world. It's one of the few free spaces where creators can express ideas through their work. Overall, I was disappointed and moved on to other options. By this point, I'd resigned myself to writing in some domain-specific language, and now focused only on how easy the game engine itself was to learn. It was time to start building the actual game. Well, let me check out this GameMaker, I thought, and launched the platformer template. And I realized, this is it. A beautiful game appeared before me, and I wondered if my game could look and feel the same. As it turned out, yes! I quickly started mastering the engine and made great progress. Indeed, building the game was very easy, and the language, GML, syntactically resembles C-like languages. Look at what I managed to create in less than a month! I only noticed the issues as the project grew. I realized source code management is quite inconvenient. With just one level and about 20 to 25% of the functionality, I started struggling to navigate the code. Also, the code doesn't compile up front but runs as a script, so certain changes can easily break existing features. Overall, this led to my development speed dropping sharply and continuing to fall, directly tied to the growing code volume. Each new feature became harder to add, and I decided to switch engines. I don't want to say anything bad about GameMaker. It's a great engine for micro projects, but I needed something that could scale. If I draw an analogy to programming languages, GameMaker is like Visual Basic 6.0. Easy to install and start coding, but not suited for any moderately larger projects. In the end, I came back to Unity anyway, and I finally understood why developers love it so much. It's truly intuitive, suitable for both beginners and pros, with a very logical structure for organizing projects. And of course, C#. Programming in it is a real pleasure. It felt like reuniting with an old friend. I've been working on the game with it for 2 months now. About a month on initial learning and porting the project, and another month adding new features. What I've accomplished so far is on the screen. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in what I'm doing, please subscribe. In the next video, I'll show how I implemented weapon switching for the character, and how I created different animations for ranged and melee weapons.